Bang bang to the gang. Benjamin Ness in the building, holding it down for P Warrior. We got Uncle Keith rocking with us from Always Faithful 24/7. What's good, Unc?
Bang bang till we can't bang no more.
I know that's right, brother. Loving the shirt. Definitely loving the shirt. You know what I'm saying? Bang bang nine a gang.
I did that to show
Uh,
y'all some love. You know that.
we definitely appreciate it. Just like Unc said, we gonna bang till we can't no more. Y'all know that's my brother's slogan. Uh, and we definitely was banging Monday night. You know what I'm
Woo.
saying?
No hits to
Coming off
Motown.
coming off that dub against the St. Louis Rams. Great game. Definitely needed to win 24-9 with the score. Uh, Jimmy Garoppolo, fairly good game. Jeff Wilson, pretty good game. All around, good game for the team. Defense was definitely chomping out there. Uh, what did you think? I know you're glad we got the dub. What did you think about the game?
I think it's the most balanced game we played on both sides of the football. I see teammates helping teammates, people blocking through and finishing the play. That's the most
Right.
important thing we were lacking in the first three games. We weren't finishing plays.
Now,
And a
that's
classic
real.
example is when Debo did that fantastic 54-yard run. Ayuk been down the field blocking all the way, not just watching the play, but participating in the play. And that
Real.
is a dream maker.
Now you right
It's
on that.
all the difference in the world. From the first quarter, my biggest thing was that first set of scripted downs. I'm thinking, okay, if that's what works, let's script some more downs.
Real.
Let's quit. Let's quit. I mean, because one of the things that's been challenging the first three games were um, there seemed to be no flexibility in their pattern of calls.
Right.
You can almost call it for them what's coming next. Off guard versus off tackle. First down, second down. It wasn't using the pass to set up the run. You know, we had the run first mentality without the offensive line to support it.
Real.
Now, these first three games gave them a chance. The offensive line played better. The defensive line is lights out. You know, they're all starting to gel. So we saw a complete game. I was very, very happy.
Now, you talked about the balance of the team
Yeah.
and the offense in particular. Were you surprised by the old line without Trent Williams, their ability to hold up and you know what I'm saying? The offense to be able to do its thing.
I think the sense of urgency, I kept texting everybody during the game, was watching the game. With them not being able to fall back and rely on him, they all had to play together. And I think if Shanahan emphasized anything this week, look, we can't afford to be marginal or adequate anymore. We've got to be better. We got to
Right.
help out. Now, I will tell you one thing that made a difference on the offensive line, though. They gave Kittle enough to eat and feed on to where he got in there and blocked too on that side. I mean, getting him and those option passes was awesome. He needed to get some passes. You got the most expensive right tackle in the world.
Props,
But
yeah.
get him involved in the offense, and he even blocked more enthusiastic. He helped cover. You weren't seeing McGlinchey. Well, we won't talk about McGlinchey. He was on the goal line, first and goal, and stood there with nobody and didn't touch anybody. How do you do that? He was turning around watching the play. So, but
McGlinchey is kind of an enigma.
but I tell you what, the substitutes like the rookie they brought in, I forgot his name. Lord have mercy. Uh, Burkus, not Burkus. I can't remember his
O
name.
line,
Yeah,
Spencer,
yeah, Spencer.
74.
Yeah, they were
Gotcha.
helping him out. He got shook up a few times, but they were helping him out. And they put him in a pulling guard position,
Okay.
and they got him into the play because his strength is his height, which is not always so good on the offensive line. But he got better when he got into the rhythm.
Okay.
So on both sides of the football, especially the offensive line, they did play a lot better. And here's something else too. Let's look at two types of quarterbacks.
Okay.
Jimmy G is a pocket passer, shotgun quarterback. Trey Lance is an option, strong arm, on the fly passer. He needs to take the ball in the center. Jimmy G needs to take it in the shotgun. They played them the exact opposite of where their natures were in the games they were playing them in, especially Trey.
Right.
Trey should have been under center the entire time because he gets in motion. That's where his strength is. But trying to make him a pocket passer at first got him hurt. And then you're trying to run him from the pocket, which make no sense in
Yeah.
the shotgun, you know.
I definitely think it was kind of counterproductive. Like if you're gonna develop him as a pocket passer, then do that. If you're gonna, I guess, use him as a runner, but to me, that's not really a strength anyway. You know what I'm saying? You're kind of working against him, but hopefully, lesson learned for next year. You know what I mean?
I think so also. And look at the use of Debo. You know, they used him a lot better this game than they had before. They still did some of their first down option runs with him, which everybody in the stadium could see he was getting the ball. But
Right.
then they swung it out wide, which made him a receiver option. And he came back to the ball and took off. That's when he's more flexible and more effective that way. You know,
Dig it.
and that made a lot of sense. And it also helped Jimmy G get into his strength of doing one thing. His ball release was faster this week than any other game he's played in a long time. He got that ball out of his hand.
Getting it out.
If you got mud feet, you need to have a slingshot arm. You know what I'm saying?
Props.
So there was so much to pick from. This was like going to a seafood boil. You just pick your pleasure. It was a lot of good stuff on the table. A lot of good stuff.
Now, you talked about finishing plays, and to
Yes.
me, a lot of times the defense leave a lot on the plate. Like they're right around the quarterback, can't quite corral him.
Mhm.
Last night, definitely on point. I think it was it Bosa that had the 6 sacks?
Both had 2.
Okay.
Total number of sacks was 6.
Okay.
Everybody got a little piece of the pie. And a lot of them were coverage sacks also.
Okay.
And now learning Bosa always had that slap move and that spin move. Some of the younger guys on the defensive line are learning that spin move and getting to the quarterback. And they're finishing plays. They're getting blocked. The play gets extended, and they're coming back at their quarterback at full speed. I mean, Stafford had nowhere to go. Up, down, back, around. He couldn't even run out the pocket if he wanted to. Them boys never quit. The defensive coordinator's clipboard on the back of it said swarm. SWARM. And that's what they did last night. They swarmed. That swarming, smothering defense. And it was most effective. It even let our secondary make some mistakes because he couldn't get the ball to him in stride. He got rushed 60% of the times he dropped back.
Yeah,
That's a hard way to be under fire, man.
Yeah, because I saw. I think I'm not sure. I believe 94 is Amenahu.
Mm-hmm.
Man, on the one sack he got, he ripped through like the center guard straight to the quarterback, gunned him down, sacked him. I thought it was great. I saw Drake Jackson get into the action. I think him and Ebukon either had a half a sack. It was somebody he got there with at the same time.
I'll tell you who else got one last night also. Hold on one sec.
Yeah, and them boys was hunting out there, bro. I was proud of the D line. And you mentioned Demo earlier. I know you won't kind of talk about him. I was surprised that Womack, I guess, kind of lost the job, but Demo been playing. He been playing well. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
We already know he had that dog in him. So to see him get the reps, he doing his thing.
Warner blocking also did a great job. I mean, him and Kittle both blocked.
Oh, Charlie Warner?
Yeah, like beast. But you asked me about Debo, you said?
Deommodore Lenoir.
Oh,
Demo.
yeah. Lenoir? Whoo. And run coverage, pass coverage, drop back, over the top, below. Seemed like he was being called as much as Hufanga.
Yeah.
I mean, and he was hitting and sticking. I mean, and Charlie Ward played well.
Yeah.
I mean, I saw Ward make some nice tackles and some nice defense. I mean, just denying the ball being there in the end zone. Turned around right when the ball came there. Swatted it down.
The ability to track the ball is key, too.
Absolutely. But again, it all started with that defensive line, though. All started with the defensive line.
Yeah, you ain't lying, bro. They was unblockable last night. You say, Stafford didn't have a lot of time at all.
That pocket was collapsed. That field of vision was narrowed, and he was forced to ball. Look how many times he threw the ball as a receiver's feet, or the receiver had to come back to the ball.
Just trying to get rid of it, huh?
Well, that's the same thing that Jimmy G was doing the game before. Throwing the ball at their feet, trying to get rid of it, rush pocket. So when you're playing great defense, I think our defense leads our offense. Our defense has been good all season. I posted the other night. We haven't given up 20 points this season.
I definitely agree with you on that.
In 4 games, we're averaging 11.5 points per game defense. We should be 4-0. There's not a reason with all the offensive talent we have on this team, we can't score 12 points a game. And every time we score 20, we will win. That's how good our defense is. Just the numbers speak for themselves. You know, we can talk about coaching, we can talk about plays, we can talk about execution. The numbers speak for themselves. Our defense has not been bad. Think about it. 11.5 points per game in 4 games. Nobody's close to that in the NFL. Nobody. And yet we're 2-2. But we're in first place.
Just get some consistent play out of the offense. You're right on that. We could definitely be doing some things.
Our defense stays healthy, and we keep, let's say we keep the teams to 15 points per game. We still only need to score 3 touchdowns a game to win. You know, there's going to be some games where somebody gets explosive, but by then, hopefully our offense will gel and we'll be just as explosive.
And if the defense continue to take the ball away, that's key. Like if they could keep hunting and start creating more turnovers, then we really gonna have an elite defense.
Throughout the NFL, defenders are holding players up, letting them make a little and punching at the ball. Our defense did it better than anybody yesterday. And I watched a lot of games yesterday. Just slapping that ball around, making them guys worry about ball security versus trying to make more progress. That helps in so many different ways. Fighting for that turnover, you know. So let's talk about special teams for a second, though.
Mm-hmm.
Ray got some guts, don't he?
McLeod, yeah.
A couple times he took a couple runs, and man, he almost broke one.
Like I wish Ray get a little bit more playing time all around. You know what I'm saying? I think he could bring a nice little spark to the offense and
got one target
to stretch the field. You know what I'm saying?
He got a target yesterday.
Okay.
Bad throw, but he got a target. He was open. And did I miss this? Was Mason hurt yesterday?
I believe so. I'm not 100%, but I believe so.
I didn't get a chance to do the pregame. I didn't see his name listed on the injured reserve or anything like that. But I'm just surprised that as well as they were running the ball when they got the momentum, they didn't bring their bang bang guy in. Right. Mason is your brutal runner. That's your Derrick Henry. I mean, Wilson did great. Absolutely. I mean, how do you argue with busting a 32-yard touchdown? You can't argue with that.
Not real.
You know, so it was just a lot of fun watching that game. You know, it's almost like I said, it's like going to a picnic and you got so much to choose from that was good. Now, things we could do better. Not in that game, not a whole lot. The totality of the game, you know,
like anything extra, just be like more icing on the cake. You know what I'm saying? Like you might have had a pick or two, you kind of, you know, but I mean, all in all,
somebody emailed me this morning: was the defense better yesterday, or was the offense better yesterday? And I
my feel it was a combination of both.
My first reaction was the defense was better, but then it occurred to me, wait a minute, the defense, unless you get takeaways and you take them to the house, don't score points. And our offense scored the points. They finished drives. I mean, they finished some serious drives.
Yeah, because last game we couldn't convert a third down.
Yeah, we were 1 for 10.
Yeah, so
awful, flat out awful. Yeah,
wasn't no drives going on. So you're right on that.
And there was a predictability of the plays. You know, and a lot of people talk about executing, but if they know what's coming or can sense what's coming, it's easy to scheme against it. We did a lot of different plays on third down this time. We passed the ball. We did options. We did the halfback option, which is really one of the most effective tools in the NFL today, especially when you got a fast charging line. Yeah. Let them get 2 steps, dump it over their head, let the running back take it 3 yards. Cloud of dust, first down. And Jimmy G ran.
Yeah, I like that too when he scrambled for that first down.
Yeah, that was kind of holding my breath too. Like, oh Lord,
Hey man, we need it. Go get it, Jimmy. Shit, you
go
ain't
get
got
it.
nothing to lose, bro. You know what I'm saying?
And I
Uh,
think Jimmy fed off the team too yesterday. He had that real confident stride.
but that's what I'm about to ask you. What is it about the Rams
That Jimmy G does so well for.
and the team itself? Like we get up for them. Uh, I mean, shit, you know the record that we had against them
Yeah,
until we just lost in the playoffs. So you know what I'm saying? Like, what is it about the Rams that we kind of have their number?
we have an expectation that we're going to have to score a lot of points going into that game. And so when we're effective defensively in these games against them, we know we can't just score 12 points. We know we can't just score 50, and we try harder. We just get up for them, and we don't like them. It's a straight up rival. We just
Just
don't
when it
like them.
comes down to
They
it,
still talking trash. The game over, they done lost, and they still talking trash. They just flat out don't like them. I mean, look at all the scrums that came up. You know, late hits, horse collar. That's just dirty football and unnecessary. But it is what it is. That's a rivalry.
uh, do you like how do you feel about Debo kind of poking at Landry a little bit? I meant to say Ramsey a little bit.
Well, look at Ramsey poking back. This started with Ramsey talking trash.
Okay.
And then Debo gave him a sandwich to chew on. Here, eat this. How'd that taste? And I think it's healthy for the game. You know, you got a great defender in the secondary going against a great receiver, an option player, and he smoked you straight up, left you at the barbecue with an empty plate. He's supposed to chirp back at him. And that's something that Drake brought to the team. When during preseason, we're talking about different attitudes of players. We need to be the not so nice guys every once in a while. We need to defend our teammates. We need to punch people back in the face. We need to push them off the line. We need to continue driving our running back down the field with the offensive lineman pushing the pile in front of us. We saw that yesterday. We saw finishing plays. We saw taking up for each other. That Debo run would not have been a touchdown if not Ayuk blocking two people downfield.
Real.
He put the free safety on his butt in the end zone
And
from 5
Ayuk and
yards out.
Ramsey, they locked up a couple times too. And we all
Mhm.
done seen the footage where Ayuk really had him burnt on that one route in the red zone. Jimmy G threw it to Kittle when he
Yep.
couldn't get his feet down, but Ayuk had smoked him on a little zig to the outside. So
And I'll tell
yeah,
you
he
what
was
else I like about
definitely
Ayuk.
getting that business.
When Ramsey grabbed him, Ayuk grabbed his face mask. Ayuk didn't back down.
Oh no.
He gave it right back to him. And they chipped at each other the rest of the game and had him distracted. Ayuk was this close to busting a couple of them, just wide open. So what we have trade for is Ayuk's ability to get open and Debo's ability to go downfield deep threat. But if Jimmy can manage the game to where we most effectively use the talent we have and give him the yak pack is back, we'll be fine.
And that's kind of why I feel like Ray and Jimmy Gray won't get as much run. I feel they kind of built for the Trey Lance offense a little
They
more.
are. They
Uh,
were drafted for that. Yeah,
Jennings and
yeah.
Jennings will
These
play
are
more with
speedsters.
Garoppolo.
They're speedsters. You
Yeah,
know. And with the speedsters, you're going to need a brutal runner like a Derrick Henry type, which is Mason. All right, big, thick, heavy dude that can bust the line open when you're trying to stretch the field. Uh, uh, a dual threat running backfield. That way you can get buying some time to go downfield because the 49ers are going to be a quick strike team by the end of the season. They'll burn you from anywhere on the field. But right now they're going to be a game managed, controlled fury, which is what we saw yesterday.
and
Effective
I'm
plays at the right time.
and look, you talking about Mason? I'm still waiting to see Marlon Mack get a little burn. You know what I'm saying?
Ooh, forgot
So
about that
we
weapon.
like we kind of loaded back. Say on like totally off the subject a little bit, and I'm
Mhm.
just about to go fantasy real quick, and we could get back to
Gotcha.
it. Say, bro, wouldn't it be nice? And I know he been injury prone, whatever. But wouldn't it be nice if we could pull off a trade and get Saquon Barkley and put him back there with Trey Lance? for the offense we gonna have next year. Like to me, if we just had a cash cow at running back, and I know again Saquon with the injury shit, but man, a
We have
healthy
got to stop.
Saquon
We've
with a
got to stop positionally mortgaging our team. What I mean is that what we would take to get him would cost us more than what we get out of him.
nah. Look, I heard you might could get him for like a third round pick.
Then what we waiting on?
And I'm
Okay, I
sorry,
got
I
you.
just went off the
Same guard,
rails for a
same.
minute, but you know, when I heard that, I was like, Lord, man, if
I
we
don't
could
think the
just
Giants give up a franchise running back, injury or not injured. You see what he's doing for them this year? He's eating. I mean, eating.
yes.
I mean, he's the kind of cat that can go on a 12-game streak that's unbelievable. He's phenomenal. 154 yards. I mean, he was busting through, carrying players.
Oh, now back to reality. I know I know it won't be Saquon per se, but could we really get a real franchise back
Let me say this to you.
through whatever? But
Let me
man,
say this to you. As thick as we are at running back right now, there's a franchise player in that group. I'm
but
trying to find out which
like
one it is. And
I'm
I'm
with you.
telling you, as long as I've been watching football, I know it was preseason, but when Mason went on that 16-yard run and carried three players 7 yards, I said, that's a ball player. He was fighting for a job. He wasn't supposed to make the 53.
Real.
He
That's
passed
real.
the eye test. And it's hard to do that in the NFL, especially at running back. Give him some shots. You brought Mack in for experience and knowledge of our system. Great. But this kid is a bruiser. He earned his way on the team. Let him run. What we got to lose?
Nah, you right on that. They don't have nothing to lose
In
now.
the fourth quarter, we could have put him in. A couple of runs. Let him touch in real time. The offensive line was winning.
Yeah, get his feet wet. Yeah, a little more, huh?
I'm telling you, this guy is so hungry, just like Purdy, Mr. Irrelevant in the NFL draft. Earned his way onto the 49ers team. He earned his way. He's more fleet of foot, more flexible. He's a combination of Jimmy G and Trey. He can do the options. He can do the pocket. He's got a rocket for an arm. I mean, if Jimmy G went down, I would have no problem handing Purdy the reins, except for the fact he's a rookie.
Right.
So we got a lot of potential, a lot of talent. This team, under the worst circumstances, should be 3-1 right now.
True.
Under the absolute worst, there's no excuse for us to be 2-2. You can say weather. Well, the other team played in the same weather. You know what I'm saying? You could say not able to complete first downs. Did we make any adjustments at all? Everybody was
like we
calling for
made many.
Shanahan's head. I've always believed that when you look at your team, you have to look at it through a lens where you're not defending a person, a coach, a player. You're defending results or lack of results. You have to point them out, and you have to look at it through that filter where I know what I want to see, but I also know what I saw. And what I saw in that last game was a stagnant offensive plan that wasn't working for the first three quarters, and why'd we stick with it?
Got a point there.
You know, at some point, and look, he wasn't that brave this game. But when he needed to be, he tried some different things.
All right, we usually do the tell the truth. It's supposed to be tell the truth Tuesday.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, I will start by talking about Tyler. I can't even say his first name. Hufanga. Tyler Noah. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Thought he had good potential, but I always heard about his coverage liability.
Yeah.
So was kind of skeptical about what we was gonna get from him. You know what I'm saying? He has exceeded my expectations. I think we got a diamond in the rough there. I can't wait to see him when they get back there with Jimmy Ward.
Mm-hmm.
There go P Warrior. And I think
Hey,
Gibson too. You know what I'm
Yeah, man,
saying?
fellas.
yes.
What's
Bang,
going
bang.
on, bro?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, just
Yeah, I've
hitting
been
them with my
listening.
my Tell the Truth for the Tell the Truth Tuesday, you hear me?
Yeah, you'll tell the truth is you wish you could get Saquon Barkley.
Nah, that is true too. Now, you know what I'm saying?
uh,
Man, I'd
yes,
love to
sir.
see that. But
Mm-hmm.
That'd be awesome.
Huff, man, I was underestimating him, because of everything I heard about his coverage ability. But he the real deal. And I just can't wait to see him get back there with Jimmy Ward. We still got Verrett coming back.
Hmm.
Man, we got Womack. Bro, we so deep, you know what I'm saying? Like, to me, we damn near as deep in the secondary as we is on the D line. We know what we got at the linebacker. So Onk, to your credit, like you saying, number one defense potential for sure.
Absolutely.
Let's
11
keep
and a half
getting the
points per game.
turnovers in. Shit, man, sky the limit. You know what I'm saying?
Uh-huh.
Do you know how hard it is to keep every team to 11 and a half points a game?
Hmm.
Means you only got to score 2 touchdowns and you win.
Props. Yeah.
But against other teams, we need when we score 21 points, we should win the game based upon our defense.
I agree.
And my truth is a dual truth. Finishing plays. On the offense and the defense, we finish plays. We block downfield. We swarm. The defensive coordinator's clipboard said swarm for the defense. And that's what they did. They group tackled, they group blocked, they backed each other's up. It was a pleasure to watch them play as a complete team.
Mm-hmm.
Ayuk stood up for himself, his teammates backed him up. Ayuk went downfield with Debo on an amazing run. Amazing, bad tackling. I don't care what you call it. Somebody got to make you miss. And then he did it. And when he got to finish that run, Ayuk put that free safety 3 yards into the end zone, like looking for help. Put him right on his butt. I was up here in my living room hollering, like, yeah, that's how you do it. I didn't even care about the touchdown. I like that downfield block.
Said looking for
That's
help,
my
huh?
truth was finishing plays. How about you, P?
Well, my tell the truth was, well, first I'm glad they won the game they needed to win.
Mhm.
And I had texted everybody and said I wasn't gonna watch it because I was tired because I did a double between my two jobs. But I wound up catching I caught the Debo touchdown and then catch the Jeff Wilson one.
Yeah.
And I caught that one and then I fell asleep and then I woke up. The game was about at the end. It was, it's finishing up. So I got a chance to watch it today. I started watching when I got up this morning about 5 o'clock
God
to
bless.
kind of watch it. So yeah, so I started watching it, then I got to work and I caught the last half of it. I mean, just like similar to Seattle, they played all 4 quarters. They didn't have the penalties, and all 3 phases contributed.
Mhm.
Now the defense was more dominant in this game, I think, than in the Seattle game,
Right.
Mhm.
just with the sacks and the pressure. Hufanga, they stole Hufanga.
Yeah.
That's all I can say. They stole Hufanga. And now, I was thinking about it. I'm watching the game, and you show he catch the pick and he, running the end zone. And my thought was, man, y'all could have every first round pick y'all could ever get. We don't need no first round pick. I been saying this since Kyle and them been there. From the 3rd round, that's where they have built the team. The Hufangas, the George Kittles, all of the 7 round picks they've had, 6 round, DJ Jones, and some of these boys that ain't even playing with them no more. All of these was late round picks that they developed, turned into stars, and they either paid them or they didn't have the money to pay, but you got paid somewhere else. Kent Bourne come to mind. All of these guys. So I'm looking at Hufanga, make the play. Because matter of fact, when I woke up, they was replaying when he caught the pick, and I'm saying, damn. And just to see him, because you could kind of see glimpses of it last year that he was going to be a playmaker, but he didn't win another level this year.
You see him
and you could
anticipate
see
that
the confidence too.
He read the quarterback and anticipated that pick.
Yeah, and that's the thing. When you in all of the games that they didn't play this year, and the way that they're using them is perfect. They're using them at the line, close to the line of scrimmage, where he either going to be in a run game making plays, but he have the ability to go to the deep middle and still make plays. And so I think that was the first game against Chicago when he was all over the field. And I'm saying to myself, man, I can't wait till Jimmy will get back in there. Because man, when Jimmy come back in there, you're gonna be able to use both of them,
right?
In both roles. You can interchange them because Hufanga can play that middle,
right,
and Jimmy can play that middle. But you can both play him at the line of scrimmage, and Hufanga give you the extra added element of being able to blitz as well. And yes, I got to give props to them for stealing Tayshaun Gibson in free agency, because man, they put him in there from the first game and he ain't missed a beat. So now you got all kind of depth, like you were saying, Ben. You got depth, and the person that really just came out of nowhere that I didn't think was gonna get run, that is really blowing up, is Lenoir. It's like, man, what the light bulb that went off on Lenoir. This boy out there tackling, covering, and because everybody, in the preseason and in a training camp, everybody was talking about Womack.
Yep.
Nobody was talking about Lenoir. Nobody was talking about Ambry Thomas. You know what I mean? Everybody was talking about Womack, and rightfully so, man. You getting 2 and 3 picks in the preseason, you making plays. So of course you're gonna get the the attention.
Right.
But and even maybe the first 2 games you was playing a nickel position, but then I think on some level maybe it was maybe a little bit too much for you, and maybe you lost a little confidence. But one thing we know about the coaching staff, if you practice well, they're gonna put you out there. So something have clicked with Lenoir that he didn't raise his level of play in terms of preparation and taking it to the practice field, but now it's translating to the actual field, to the game. Because last year they was playing him outside. Well, he ain't got the speed to play outside corner, but he perfect inside for the blitzing. Similar to Hufanga, he got the sack off of that one pressure. And even though Cooper Kupp is a beast and ain't too many people covering Kupp, for the most part, he was right with him. You know what I mean? Kupp just on a whole nother level, but we know that. But man, Lenoir was right there. You know what I mean? And just with the tackle, we saw that in the Denver game. Yeah, like in the Denver, in the Denver game, man, he really was. He really. Because I'm like watching the game, the Denver game, and I'm like, okay, well, I'm thinking Womack gonna be out there, but it was him,
right,
in that nickel. But he was beasting out there. He was tackling, everything else. So now you got all of this, like you said, Ben. You got all of this depth in the secondary. Verrett about to come back. You got E-Man playing at a high level. You got Mooney playing at a high level. Jimmy about to come back. You got Gibson and Hufanga, and when Jimmy come back in, so man, you got all of this depth. That last year, man, we were screaming, where they gonna find a corner at? You know what I'm saying? They had to go get Josh Norman and all of these guys.
Oh man.
So just think about where they went from not having hardly no corners, and now they got all of this surplus. And you're gonna need it because it's a long season, and God forbid nobody else get hurt. They can all stay healthy. But now, man, with Hufanga emerging, Jimmy coming back, and all of this depth to go with what they have in the front 7, man, it's gonna be scary to see how well they can play and how they gonna really shut people down. So defensively, man, I'm with y'all. They A+ every week. Offensively, this is the way that they gotta play right now. Let Jimmy do his thing. Get the ball out quick. I like the quick game to Debo. I like the quick game to IU. They got it to Juszczyk. They got it to Kittle eventually. Charlie Warner, that just was a bad overthrow. I don't know if you turned wrong or whatever.
Yeah, he threw that.
Yeah, but you should have caught that. I think he turned wrong and the ball came on him quicker than he thought. And Jennings made the 3rd down play. So everybody played their role. Jeff Wilson ran and got the 1 touchdown, and they ran it enough. Offensive line, you didn't give up no sacks. Now, Buford, Aaron Donald gonna abuse anybody. You just gotta, chunk it up to Aaron Donald's a generational talent. Yes. You're a rookie, so he was going to, have the advantage over you. They intermatched him in Brunskill, and that kind of offset him a little bit at times.
Yeah, they pinched him.
And, McKivitz, you was playing solid till you got hurt, and now you're going to be out. So Jalen Moore, you got to come to the party because Trent Williams ain't going to be playing for a while. But we know last year we saw glimpses of him being capable of doing it. So now you got to step up. But the way that they got to play is, Jimmy, you get the ball to the playmakers
and let it go.
Offensive line. Yeah, you got to get it out quick. Offensive line, you got to do what you did against the Rams. Make enough holes to run, but also pass protect enough to keep Jimmy from having to, be in harm's way. And, if they do that, they can win. And now, because they, all of them was talking about after the game, or the reporters asking them after the game, okay, well, do you think this could be a springboard to y'all, getting on a little winning streak? Well, these next 2 games y'all got, Carolina and Atlanta, is winnable games for you. But you got to bring the same mentality that you've been bringing at home on the road. At home, you're jumping on them quick. You got confidence. You're playing hard. You're playing the way we want to see y'all play. Well, you got to translate that to the road now. You got to get on the road and be about, let's jump on these boys quick. And when you jump on them, keep jumping on them. Don't let off the gas. That's what cost you the game against the Bears. And you let Russell Wilson hang around too long. So if you learn the lessons from those 2 games, you could go on this East Coast trip that y'all about to go on and get these 2 dubs coming back home. So my overall tell the truth for last night was they responded to the challenge, but y'all got to respond every week. We know what the Rams is, whether they won the Super Bowl or not. It's y'all rivals. Y'all don't like each other. Jalen Ramsey and Donald, y'all be talking a lot of crap. Y'all generational talent. Y'all got a right to run y'all mouth. But at the same time, you can't, you can run your mouth and say we beat y'all when it counted, but overall we beat y'all all the time. So, that's just what it is. So, like I say, I think now, let's just, we just got to get all the players that we going to need for the playoff stretch healthy. The Elijah Mitchells and Trent Williams and, we just can get, because it's eventually we going to need this running game to help Jimmy down the line, because we know it can't just be all on him, and we don't want it to be all on him because we know from past, history. You know what I mean? Yeah, exactly. So that's what I'm saying. They got to just hold on. I don't know if Tevin Cole, I know he was out there. I don't think he got no carries, and you got Marlon Mack, so you got enough to hold on till Elijah and these boys, come back, like that. So to me, it's like, we gonna need this running game in the playoffs to offset, putting it all in Jimmy's hands, because we know realistically we can't put it all in his hands.
Well, what about Jimmy being a game manager, P. Warrior? Right now, he's in a game manager role.
Yeah, I know, and that's what I'm saying. Right now, it's perfect. Because
you're not going to have the ability to go downfield. He's going to be
and that's what I'm saying.
Position. Plus the fact you got running backs we're not using. What about Mason? Mason can bang, bang, bang. You got to get
that's what I'm saying.
In and like juice it. He was open all night.
Yeah, I know, and that's and that was a one play because I was watching it this afternoon, and he was wide open and he didn't throw it to him, and that's what I'm saying right now. Because
when he did, he made a spectacular catch.
Exactly, and that's what I'm saying right now because of. With the whole running back situation, you putting it more in his hands.
But you don't have to.
Yeah, on some level you don't. And that's what I'm saying. Eventually, like I say, you got Tevin Coleman, who's been a productive player. We know Marlon Mack have been a productive player. Jeff Wilson have been a productive player. You got 3 good running backs right there. So, Kyle, you could take the ball out of his hands or let him manage it if you want to use those 3 guys to run it. You know what I mean? Because I'm looking at it from the standpoint of, okay, if you're going to play the way you played against, the Rams last night, you can win the games because you're still going to be leaning on a defense and you're still going to be leaning on a special team. But at the same time, you got these running backs. Man, these running backs is proven. So, Kyle, come on, give them some run and try to reestablish your running game till you get Elijah Mitchell and these boys healthy. And then you would have a decision to make, okay, well, because, typically he go with a hot hand. Well, if you got Tevin Coleman running good, or if you got Marlon Mack running good, or Jeff Wilson, or a combination of the 2 or all 3, then you could ease Elijah Mitchell back in at some point.
You can let him
once
play.
he come back healthy,
Mhm.
type of thing. You know what I mean? Because I'm looking at it right, where they are right now, but versus where we want to see him when it's crunch time. We're going to need this running game in crunch time. We're going to need the offensive line in crunch time, to be able to do what they did last year in the playoffs, because let's just assume that we don't have home field advantage. We're going to have to go on the road like we did, but we battle tested because we did it last year, and we know we going to take that. We know we bringing the defense with us. We're bringing the special team with us, but we're going to have to bring that run game, and we're going to have to bring Jimmy making the clutch throws. We're going to need clutch Jimmy, not crazy Jimmy, in those moments. So
hold on a second, Pete. I think we're going to end up with two different teams based upon injuries and undetermined abilities of who's going to be hot. I think what we have that's a blessing to us is an abundance of riches. In my football eye, I see technique runners like Mitchell and Wilson. But I also you got some smash mouth boys. You got to get somebody like a Mason in there that can move that line and carry a bad call.
And I forgot about the TDP too. I forgot about him. He hurt too.
TDP,
I forgot.
So what you have is you got a tremendous situation in running back. But we also know that play action pass is setting up our run game. That's what they did differently in this game than the prior games. They threw first, ran second. And then they flipped the order. That makes you unpredictable. You're not easily out-schemed. You're not reread. So if we can maintain that flexibility, all Jimmy G's got to do is manage the game and hit the open receiver. You schemed him in position like Juszczyk and Kittle. I mean, Kittle was wide open, and he's going to get yak. Juszczyk, great hands. Jennings was wide open. You got to hit him. Ayuk, schemed open. Debo, just get him the damn ball.
Period.
In a position to win. Not going off tackle and off, but out there in the flag. Move him out. Make him a halfback out so he comes back and then shoots. You can't keep up with him. You never tackle him on the first hit. And once he gets going down the hill, it's bacon. It's bacon. It's bacon. I'm there with you.
I agree with everything y'all saying. All I think we got to keep in mind. First off, Jimmy G, in my opinion, his whole career, he's been a game manager for us.
Okay.
It's always been defense and run game first. And we try to limit Jimmy and his mistakes. Last night, the Debo touchdown, great as it was, should have been a pick.
It was. You're right.
Let's just keep it 100. That's a Jimmy gimme that he usually gives the other team, that he's known to give the other team in the playoffs and in crucial situations. So as happy as I am, it's regular season. But in the playoffs and in the clutch, Jimmy gonna throw that. That's gonna be a turnover. Let's keep it 100 from what we already know and experience. So Jimmy G still the game manager. Y'all right. We need the defense to be outstanding, get turnovers, and we need to run the hell out the ball. That way, we can work the play action and it limits you because, bruh, getting it out your hand quick is great. But in the playoffs, we know where getting it out your hand quick gonna go to. We already know, like y'all saying, Ayuk wide open, this one wide open. You don't see them. You see Debo, you see Kittle. In the playoffs,
they can read
taking that away from it. That's all I'm saying. So
I got a question for you, Ben. I'm sorry, P-Boy.
I'm gonna say this. I don't disagree with you. There's got to be a point in time though where he gonna have to make that throw.
You right.
Because like I said, like we talking about, they're gonna take away. This is what I'm trying to make. Typically, we know he's gonna go to Debo. He's gonna go to Kittle. The narrative had to change to where you got to trust Ayuk, or you should be able to trust Ayuk now, and you should be able to trust Jennings that if they're not open, the main guys that you are familiar with throwing to, you should be able to throw it to them. And I agree with you that when it's wide open, like it was last night, Jennings was open on the one pass. Juszczyk was open on the one pass. He didn't even look that way, and that's what I always was saying was the difference was between Trey Lance and him. Trey Lance would have hit that pass because Trey Lance gonna read the progressions quicker than Jimmy. Jimmy lock in on one guy or two guys, and he's gonna throw it in there. And that's what have always been a narrative. He gonna do the Jimmy gimme because he trying to get it to the guys he trusts. Well, man, Ayuk is proven. Jennings is proven. Juszczyk is proven. Okay, so man, if they're not open, then you gotta be quicker in the progression. But we know in the playoffs, like you just said, Ben, they're gonna take away your main threat and make you go somewhere else. Can he do that? That's what everybody is so scared of.
Let's answer that question by saying, how do we prepare for the playoffs in regular season, right? And if we know our quarterback is limited in tight situations, getting the ball downfield, we do have an option. How many times did Pittsburgh Steelers back in the day have an option quarterback come in, like a Purdy, with a shotgun front arm? So we've got an opportunity to perfect and practice and scheme against our weaknesses during tight situations. For example, let's say we're in game 12. We're up 31-0. The other team scores a touchdown. We bring Purdy in for the fourth quarter. We work our option plays out. You get him some touches. You see what he's under pressure. And he starts getting that ball downfield. 2 games later, we bring him in the third quarter. We got a 17-13 game. He goes for a home run and nails Gray in stride. That's a threat that changes the dynamics of our playoffs, does it not? You know the kid can reach him. You see how that kid can throw the ball 65 yards in the air on a strike? Jimmy G can't touch that. And you got receivers that can run that route.
But the coach not going to do that.
Well, see, that's the challenge. What the coach did last game was he deviated from his standard plans. And that was extremely successful, both on defense and on offense. The defensive coordinator called all the defensive plays last game. There was Shanahan did not even go near him because what he was doing, he called a perfect defensive game. At some point, then, let him do it. He can show he can do it. Let's let you focus on the offense and being more flexible. We're too predictable.
Yeah, well, no, I like the strategy that they had coming out, throwing the ball to set up the run because everybody know we're going to try to come to set up the run to set up the pass. So, we're flipping the script, changing up, throwing a curveball, that's what's good. And that's what I'm saying. If that's how you're going to try to get Jimmy, going in his confidence and so on and so forth, I don't have a problem with that. You know what I'm saying? At some point, Kyle going to go back to what he want to really do, and that's run the ball. But, man, you got to get the ball to these playmakers. You got playmakers, man. You got to get it to Debo. You got to get it to Ayuk. You got to get it to Jennings. You got to get it to Juszczyk. You can even use Jeff Wilson in a passing game. You got to get Ray involved in there. You know what I mean? So I think if Kyle just go ahead and just realize that, man, I got these playmakers and Jimmy Strint is getting the ball out of his hands quick. If he do that, then because I was hollering about the screens, the traditional screens. Well, they throw the wide receiver bubble screens, and that's like another run.
It is.
Yeah, so I mean, like I said, I think
that's the most effective way Debo is used in that bubble screen.
I think exactly, and that's what I'm saying. If y'all gonna do the quick game, that's Jimmy's strength. Play to his strength. The quick game is his strength. You know what I mean? Those type of plays is his strength. The play action, if he, if you scheme it open, and in most cases he hit it. You know what I'm saying? And then you getting the ball to the guys that run after Cash Yak brothers, so on and so forth. So, I mean, they got a good blueprint. It just got to be executed. Defensively, man, D'Amico was on it. You know what I'm saying? Because traditionally, he don't come with the extra pressure, but in this game, he attacked the weakness of their team, which was their offensive line. He could have went with the traditional 4-man rush play coverage, but, he came after it. You know what I'm saying? And I like the way they was using the stunts and got Nick Bosa free and come right up the middle. And, man, once he got a head of steam, you ain't going to be able to stop him from getting no sacks.
You see Green Line Blitz?
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. I think I had said that in the Denver game where they're going to come at times with an extra man or extra rusher.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Just to change things up. And like I said, now with Hufanga, And even Lenore off the slot, you can blitz that way. In addition to bringing Fred Warner, in addition to bringing Greenlaw, and now because you got the secondary that can cover, man, you could do so many things, different things defensively, and that's what they wanted. That's why they went and got Mooney Ward, and E-Man and stepped up his game, Hufanga raised his game. So now what was the weak link of the defense is a strength now to go over was already the strength, which was the front seven. So now you got a complete defense out there. So, man, you could do all kind of things. You could rush 4 and drop 7. You could come with 5, maybe 6, and still hold up because you got the coverage to back you up now. And they all ball hawking for interceptions or fumbles and the whatever. So, man, it's going to be hard to score points against us all year long, even when they play some of these good teams, because you know, and they gonna get we about to see what they really about when Kansas City come through, you know, in a couple games. We gonna find out.
We got a defensive quarterback in Hufanga now, because Hufanga reminds me of Tyrone Matthew, the Honey Badger. He has that kind of flexibility and diversity the way he plays football.
Oh wait.
Yeah, Huff the man, bro.
You know what I'm saying? When you think about having a defensive quarterback that is flexible and who is fast enough laterally and vertically to make changes in the middle of a play, that's rare.
Right.
That is super rare.
Defense to line up and put, you know, in a position where they need to be to make plays. And he an unselfish dude, bro. Like, I was listening to his presser. He was talking about his relationship with Gibson. Looking forward to Wall coming back, but you know, the way he was talking about doing his job right. So even if he don't make the play, it might put somebody else in a position to make the play because he did his job right. That's all, man. Look, come on, team brother. Play. Yes, brother.
Now, I was talking about Purdy for a reason, because I want people to think outside the box. My challenge with the 49ers is being robotic, predictable.
Tell you.
And you got 7, count them, 7, 8, 9 offensive weapons that can break a play. You got to distribute that ball. Correct?
I agree with you on that.
So, what if you went to a hurry-up offense? And
not to cut you off, that's something I ain't never really seen them do, unless, you know, it's
they're going to have to, because right now they're dealing with a hybrid team. They do not have the team they schemed for, drafted for, and intended to put on the field this year. Do you agree?
Yeah, right.
And so when you have that, for example, if you used to use buckets to put out fires, but the fires are now wind-aided, you need a hose. That means you got to change your game. That's where we at. We cannot be traditional in a non-traditional league. Do you know why so many quarterbacks are being hurt and running backs are being hurt and wide receivers are being hurt?
Why you say?
The defenders are getting faster and bigger, and they are hitting people like Buicks. They hurting them. You got guys on the defensive side of football running 4.40s. You know how fast that is in real terms? That's 26 miles an hour. That's like being hit by a car.
About to smack into somebody else running that fast, huh?
Ooh. I'll give you an idea. In the military, I used to train guys about confidence and faith. We just say run at half speed into that wall and let the wall stop you. Well, you had a few idiots that went out there full speed. The next time they ran, they was tiptoeing. But that's the kind of league we're dealing with right now. You got to protect your players. You got to scheme. And the 49ers have all the weapons they need. It's almost like you got the Indians coming over the hill. You got a bow and arrow. You got a Gatling gun. You got a pistol, and you got a grenade. And you're sitting there thinking, well, I know the arrow can kill one Indian, and I guarantee I can hit him. I'm not too sure about the Gatling gun, how many I can kill. And the grenade I might miss. And the pistol may kill more than that, but I can depend on the arrow. We need to start using all the weapons.
Yeah, give me that Gatling.
Give me that Gatling. And you know what? Let's slow them down with the grenade. And if the Gatling run out of bullets, let's finish off what's left with the pistol. And if anybody survives that, let's take him out with the bow and arrow. Yeah, what we used to do. But we got to progress. Just like a quarterback progresses through plays, we got to progress through the defensive schemes we see around us. You know, and the different challenges in games. We lost 2 unnecessary games with as much talent as we had. If we couldn't pass the ball, we couldn't do this. Why didn't we put our best bangers in there to run?
Right.
Made no sense. And I put that squarely on the coach, not blaming him. He is who he has been.
Right.
Ooh, that's a bad statement, isn't it?
we get the gist of it. Right.
He is who he has been. So at some point, if he's going to evolve, because he drafted a team, I don't think Shanahan's used to coaching. Think about that. That's a heavy thought, isn't it? So if you're gonna draft a team you've never coached before, you can't coach the way you used to with a team you didn't. You know what I'm saying?
You're right on that. You got to be a little bit more creative and do some shit a little bit more on the fly.
Juicek, wide open. Great hands for a fullback. Great blocker. You can put Juicek on one side to help the offensive line, Kittle on the other side, and you just got 2 extra down linemen, offensive linemen. Then you got Gray, Werner, Debo, Kittle. Good gracious, Wilson out the backfield. He can throw all day. Or if you're really crazy, let him run. Jimmy G showed he can run. He just chooses not to. He didn't have the confidence to do it. Jizzle.
What's
up? Bang, bang.
Man, what a win, man. That was a win that just like is season changing almost, you know.
They put the wind in the sails, didn't
it? It did.
How you been, partner? I know you're working hard.
Oh man.
You loving it?
Yeah, it's good though. It's I like it so far, man. It's a job where people like you just for doing your job. It's crazy. We getting tips.
You get tips?
Tips, all kind of stuff, man. This dude just gave me a whole packet of seasonings and stuff. I'm like, damn, all right. People be leaving food at the door and waters and sodas.
Oh, that's awesome, man. Customer service right now is so necessary.
Yeah,
here in Florida, man, we went through hell last week, and UPS started delivering in the flood zones now. Y'all don't quit. They put a whole new meaning to what can Brown do for you.
Man, I can't do that. I can't do that for nobody there. I can't do all that.
Oh, that mercy. Good to see you, partner. Good to see you.
Yeah, good to see y'all too.
Hey man, look, you jumping on. Give me some game balls, bro. You know what I'm saying? We got a dub, you know what I'm saying? Enough of them to go around, I would think, but you know what I'm saying? You know, give us a quick spiel who you like in the game, some game balls you'll give out.
Man, it's hard to say besides Debo and Hufanga, man. Those two are like the catalyst of the game, like, because I would go Debo though, because he saved the pick six by, you know, out fighting the DB and then turn it into a touchdown. That's like a 14-point swing if you get it.
Yeah.
Real talk.
Look at Hufanga taking one back to the house.
Man.
And let's not forget Lenore. He was a beast.
Yeah, he was. Man.
And then Ayuk continuing to play when Debo broke that touchdown, blocking the free safety into the end zone.
There's a lot of game balls you can give.
Yeah.
Look, I take it Ayuk definitely getting one from you,
What? I mean, seriously, one of the things in the first three games we had challenges with was finishing plays.
Mm-hmm.
And I can't emphasize that this was a complete game, both sides of football. And they finished plays. They blocked. They got after the quarterback. They completed the rush. They stopped the run. And they blocked downfield when the guys caught the ball. That's how you win. You completely play all the way through to the whistle is blown. We were a little bit apathetic in a couple games. You lost 2 games, and you're giving up an NFL best 11.5 points per game.
That's kind of hard to fathom.
Let that sink in. That's like bad marinade on good fish. Y'all better let me go out and have some wine.
It's all good, bro.
What's happening, bro? Victory Tuesday.
Victory Tuesday.
Kind of tastes better than Taco Tuesday.
Mm-hmm.
Tell you.
I agree with you on that.
But I got to tell you the thing. One of the things that I really, really enjoyed was Jimmy G after the game. What he said was very, very important. He complimented the defense first. He also acknowledged individual players. He took no credit because if he's accepting his role the right way, he's a game manager with the opportunities to be a game maker. He missed a lot. Some plays downfield that could have been wide open, touchdown, so on and so forth. And his confidence will come up. I don't know. Can Jimmy G hit a wide open gray 40 yards downfield? Anybody believe that?
He can. He misses it a lot though. He misses it. He got to see it first, and then
it's possible. The probability not high, but it's possible.
Yeah, what Jizzle said, he got to see it first.
I wouldn't disagree with him on that. I think he do on some level, man. It's like, you know.
But then looking at film, don't you think he would see that maybe he needs to look at the film? I mean, he had at least 4 touchdowns he missed. Think about that, guys. 4 touchdowns. Juice said twice. Ayuk once and Jennings once.
Yeah.
That's 4 touchdowns. We should have blown them off the planet.
But you know what? Kyle said that in the presser. He was like, there was a point in the game where he said, man, I really thought we could really pull away and take control of the game. And so I'm thinking he's referring to that, to the missed opportunities that they had. Now, I'm going to say this. We need Jimmy to play like he played against the Saints down here a few years ago back in 19.
Oh, man.
That was the best game he played.
Amen,
that's the best game he ever played.
But can we play the game in the game out?
No, but, and I'm saying that to say that when that game occurred, they were fighting for that home field advantage.
What are you talking about?
They were fighting for that number 1 seed, that year in 19, which that game helped them get it. And we can't expect him to be like that, ball till you fall every week like that. But man, I would love to have it when it counts. If you could pull something out of you, pull something from within you that, could come to that, you know what I mean? I would love to see that at the right time. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, I just a thought, that's just a thought. It would be good to see it when it really counted. You know what I'm saying? So,
Crazy that you can look at that and go back and look at some of Jimmy G's best game, and you can see he has it. It's not like it's not even something impossible for him to do. He can do it. That's what's kind of so frustrating about him.
Then that leads to one question then. Is it the scheming that's preventing him from doing it, or is it Jimmy G?
I think Jimmy G has always been so inconsistent. Yeah.
So
I was about to say, I'm going to say this. I think it's not the scheme because in that game, Kyle pulled out all the stops in that game. If you're going to go back to that game, they came out throwing. If y'all remember, because I actually have it on my YouTube channel.
Okay.
In that game, the Saints jumped on them quick. Yeah. So Kyle was like, man, okay. Kyle, and this is the thing. Kyle knew it was big. Jimmy knew it was big. It was big. And they coached and played like that. And that's what we want to see in a crucial moment, Kyle. It's the crucial moment. Coach like it. Jimmy, it's a crucial moment. Play like it. You know what I'm saying? It's like in the crucial moments, y'all been fooling. But in that moment, y'all was beasting out there. And that's what I think is frustrating too, because like Jizzle said, we know it's in him, but is it gonna show up when we need it to show up? Same thing with Kyle. Come on, Kyle. It's a big moment, bro. You supposed to be this genius, McVay and all these boys come from you. You should be outshining them in their moments, but it's like you be cracking in the moment. You know what I'm saying? If you go back to that game, it was man, come on. It's in y'all to do this.
I want to share something with you. I had an opportunity to meet Nick Saban when I was in Alabama.
Oh, wow. That's a big
he did a seminar for sales managers, finance directors about inspiration.
Okay.
And I was dumb enough to ask him, what's the single most important thing you teach your new players coming into Alabama that creates such consistency. You know what his one word was? Urgency in every moment. Urgency.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if you get up for a game you're supposed to be up for, that means you're letting down on games you don't get up for.
Exactly.
And you'll never be a champion. Joe DiMaggio said he quit playing baseball because he didn't want to go out there and play it less than what he was capable of, because it may be the only time a person in their life got a chance to see him play.
Yeah.
That is what this is about. Yesterday, being 1-2 against a team that's supposed to beat you created urgency. And if we can translate that from week to week on both sides of the ball, we can run.
And that's the point. It's like, okay, Chicago, most people, including us, may figure, man, we're going to smash Chicago. It's going to be easy breezy. Cover girl. Okay, well, we weren't anticipating it was going to be pouring people out there. People were falling from the sky, literally, with the weather. You know what I mean? And then y'all didn't come, y'all didn't come prepared like y'all should have came, or y'all started all strong, but then y'all, fell off. Okay, the same thing with the Denver game. Y'all, you had the one good drive, but the rest of the game was like trash. But just like you said, Uncle, and it's true, the Rams, it seemed like it brings out the urgency in y'all, and y'all come and y'all play y'all best game, and we see the potential of what y'all supposed to be. Okay, but come on, y'all ain't playing the Rams this week. Y'all about to play the Panthers. So what y'all gonna do? Go back and lay down and lose a game that y'all know y'all should win? This is where, like you said, when you asked Nick the question, you got to have that urgency out there, period. Come on, man. Y'all trying to win the championship. You got a championship roster.
That's why I like Mason.
I'm sorry, but what you just said, I don't think they're going to lay back down, though. I think they just got their two wake-up calls, especially the Denver Bronco ones. I feel like that was a worse loss than the Bears loss, because of the fact that there wasn't no, weather or anything that you can say why you lost that game. You just lost that game because you didn't execute down the stretch, and they didn't make the same dumb mistakes, beat themselves kind of thing. So I feel like now we're going to go into Carolina, go play Atlanta, and just start putting wins on the board and bringing them together with the best defense.
We definitely need to
totally agree. Together. I totally agree. We got to just keep that urgency going. And you're right. Did we get a wake-up call? Yes. And I think that the game was schemed right. I think it was a lot more flexible than it had been in the first 3 games. But let me tell you something. There's too much talent on this team not to use all of it. If we become unpredictable with a game manager, we're unstoppable. If we go back into the habits that got us to the first 3 games, we're going to lose. There's no reason. You got a defense, let me repeat this, that is not giving up 20 points in a game. They're averaging 11.5 points per game defense. Now, look, if I had a salesperson averaging 5.5 sales a month, I would fire him.
Right.
If I had one averaging 1.5, I'd be thinking about putting him in finance, because he's killing it. He's absolutely killing it. You think about how many great Pittsburgh Steelers. You know what the NFL record for the lowest points per game average is?
What that?
10.6 points per game.
Oh, we
down into that record per game average zone.
Yeah, I think that was the 85 Bears. They held them that, right?
Bears.
Yeah, I knew it. Yeah.
Think about that. So why are we 2-2? We don't want to blame anybody, but just call it what it is. If you got eggs, bacon, and toast, and you ain't got no breakfast, it ain't because daddy didn't bring home the bacon.
Right.
What mama doing? It's the offense. Mama's the offense. Daddy's defending the house. Mama's making the house livable. We got to play. I'm using these references for a reason. I'm tired of people whining about what could be. Let's just do it. Bang, bang. We got 4 running backs that are healthy. Each one brings something different to the game. We got 5, 6 people that can catch a pass and bring something to the game. We got a quarterback that can reach 5 out of the 6 consistently. We got a guy that's a superstar that makes something out of nothing every time he gets an opportunity.
Mhm.
And we're using him wrong half the time. We got a defense that's gelling at an almost record pace, and yet we're still 2-2. Urgency. You know what? I'm going to call Nick Saban up and see if I can coach the 49ers. Did I say that out loud? Did I say that out loud?
Yeah, but that's okay. Yeah,
No, but
we
no,
wouldn't
I
disagree
take
with you.
that. I
With
take that back. I'm just making a point of we've got to coach urgency. It looked like we were urgent last night.
Mm-hmm.
Whew.
I agree. Mm-hmm.
Jizzle, so good to see you again, partner. I gotta say that, man.
Sir.
You see smiling face, man.
Yeah, I snuck in on the other one a little late, but yeah, it's been rough. But I've been actually getting in. I've been getting home earlier now, so earlier.
That's good.
Yeah.
Been good.
What's up, my brother?
Let me tell you something, man. I had so much had so much fun. My feet getting warm. This was a good game, Mark. Good conversation tonight, gentlemen. Hey, who are you? You bringing it always, man. You bringing it.
Yeah, well, yeah, man. I mean, I got to tell the truth, man. Like I said, I couldn't, man. I watched that Denver game, man, till I had to go to work that Sunday night, and I was listening to it, bro. I couldn't rewatch it.
It was hard, wasn't it?
I couldn't, because man, I was listening to Greg Pop and them, and when they said Jimmy was doing what he was doing out there, and I was on the aisle stocking, and I had this look on my face. I'm like, oh, I couldn't watch it, and I normally take my lunch like 2 a.m. when I'm working overnight when I work. And I was saying to myself, should I watch the game? And I couldn't. I just couldn't. I didn't watch it that whole week. I didn't watch no press conferences or nothing because I'm like, I'm mad and I'm disappointed because, man, come on, y'all the better team out there, bro. It's time for y'all to start doing what y'all supposed to do. Can
I ask this question, though, to be fair? After watching yesterday's game, has it raised our expectation of what we should see going forward?
Yeah, because that's the team that's the team, minus Trey. Okay, minus Trey Lance. That's the team that we supposed to be. We supposed to be smashing you on defense. We supposed to be running it effectively. We supposed to be getting the ball to Debo. We supposed to be getting the ball to IU. We supposed to be getting the ball to Jennings. We supposed to be, dominating and being more physical, the most physical team in the league. You know what I'm saying? I think Hufanga said he had never heard of an ice bag game. Okay. Well, yeah, we put the Rams in the ice bag, and we had to get some ice bags too. But we dished out more than they did. Absolutely. So the point is hell yeah, there's an expectation now. Everybody now assume that we supposed to go to Carolina and smash them, then get that little West Virginia training camp and go to Atlanta and smash them and come back home with 2 dubs. That's the expectation because of what y'all did against the Rams. So ain't no excuse, like you said, for y'all not to go and handle your business and be the team that we supposed to be. Because I'm thinking about it, Philly 4-0, and I'm thinking about down the line. Because see, all I'm really worrying about is let's get to the playoffs. Because I figure if we get to the playoffs healthy, we should be the team to beat in the NFC. I ain't worrying about Aaron Rodgers. I ain't worrying about Tom Brady. We got a defense that can shut both of them down.
Right.
Okay, even if they got all their players. I'm just being honest. We know we can beat Green Bay. Now, they're gonna get a crack at time because he got to come out there to us eventually down the line. So if we healthy in the playoffs with our full complement of players, now everybody gonna say, but you ain't got the quarterback. Okay, well,
yeah, we do. Yeah, we do.
We do.
We got enough talent around that actually just manage.
Exactly. So that's what I'm saying.
What do you think,
man?
Jizzle?
Come on, bro. It's time for these boys to get it in.
I don't feel like it raised my expectations. My expectations prior to the season was that we would do this anyway. That we would beat this team. We underachieved the first 2 games. Call a spade. And I feel like when people might say, okay, well, do we have a quarterback? Well, we have a quarterback in the sense of we're following the 2001 Baltimore Ravens blueprint. We're going to play behind this defense. You just can't be – you got to do enough to, drop the bus. You don't got to drive the Ferrari or nothing. You just drive the bus, get the kids home safely, and everybody goes on with their life. So that's what I feel, and I feel like Jimmy G can be that Trent Dilfer type. He's better than Trent Dilfer, but you know what I mean. Just the game manager. He needs to embrace that role now. I feel like he needs to embrace that role. Just hit the open guys and keep the chains moving.
You know, it's funny you said that about a game manager. The Giants won how many Super Bowls with a game manager?
Man, Eli Manning was definitely a game manager.
You think about it. All he managed to do was not throw the game away.
But he was a game manager.
All the same defenses.
He was a game manager with elite arm talent.
Absolutely.
That's the difference.
Yeah.
Ultimately, that's the difference.
I'll grant that, but still it can be done. And we don't know that Jimmy G doesn't have it. We just know he hasn't used it. And occasionally, and like people always said, some games he did use it. So it's about
look, I'm gonna look at it like this, because we talking about the 2001 Baltimore Ravens, a historic defense. And even John Lynch was on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers with Brad Johnson. Brad Johnson didn't set the world on fire neither. But they had a great defense. They had that pound of rock running game. And he threw the ball and made the passes when he needed to make it. That's all we need from Jimmy. We know that. Oh, Jimmy, all we need you to do is to make the right pass at the right time, bro. Like Jizzle just said, drive the bus, bro. We don't need you to be no heroic person out there. We don't need you to be no clown neither, but we just need you to be in between. No Jimmy Gimme, like Ben would say. You know what I'm saying? And man, come on, bro. On some level, man, look, like I said last year, I was rooting for Jimmy, man, because man, I want Jimmy to change the narrative, bro. He ain't got the clutch gene, he can't do this and do that. Because in the playoffs, it's always measured by the quarterback. You know what I'm saying? You're going up, it's this one versus that one, and so on and so forth. So we know if you go up against Aaron Rodgers, the narrative gonna be, well, Aaron Rodgers did this and did that. If it's Tom Brady, well, you was the understudy to Tom Brady, man. At some point, you got to say screw both on, man, and go get yours. You know what I'm saying? Make the play that's got to be made to get over the hump.
Now, as an OG, I'm gonna tell you about Montana, the young transition. Each one established their own identity and went and got their stuff. Montana was all world, youngest Hall of Fame. You know why he did it? He took over the team and established his own identity and kept it moving. At some point with Jimmy G, if you got a game manager, who manages the quarterback? The head coach, right?
True.
At one point, when does it become Shanahan's baby? Either you scheme it right and utilize all your talent to the best of your ability, or you don't. If you got to feel safe on every play you're making, I'll put it to you this way. If a customer doesn't run out of my showroom and say, I asked for too much money, then I'm not asking for enough. At least once a week. That's how we stay profitable. You got to ask for it. You got to go for it. Being conservative is being afraid. You have too much talent around you. You have built a team that could have easily run the table if used effectively. Trey being hurt, it is what it is. You know what Jimmy G's limitations are and his strengths. We played to him last game, and he still missed 4 touchdowns. Think about that. 4 wide open receivers for touchdowns. All right? So we're going to scheme accordingly. And if y'all don't get Purdy in one of these games, I'm going to lose the rest of my hair. I promise.
But you know what? I think
as long as
the point you're making is a good point. Because on some level, Kyle do be scheming it open, and he be missing. And I think that's what made Kyle want to handcuff him. Because Kyle, like, man, he was open. He was open. Yeah. He was open. And you missed him.
They definitely look at the film. They're going to see all those guys.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
And that takes me right back to having a quarterback that can make that throw. If you have a quarterback that's Mr. Irrelevant, who busted his head enough to make the team, put him in the third quarter, do some wildcat plays, and let him throw the ball down the field. 1 or 2 passes. We've already known that our team is capable of holding everybody to under 12 points.
Well, we
You
haven't
only
had
need 2
leads.
touchdowns.
We haven't had leads
But
to be
we
able to do that yet, though.
Huh?
and
True.
also
We haven't had
we
enough leads to be able to do that yet, though. You have to have a substantial lead to start doing that kind of stuff.
And earlier in the show, I did say that, so I totally agree with you. We do
Yeah,
need
yeah.
a lead.
Shanahan, we
But
know
you
it's
got
a
to get the guys some
seniority
NFL
thing.
time.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We know with him it's a seniority thing too. You feel me?
Oh,
So
Lord.
when you ask the question, like, am I excited? Because of the win, has my level of expectations gotten higher? Once Trey Lance got hurt, for me personally, I looked at the year as a wash. If they win the Super Bowl, that'd be great, because to me, you owe the fans and you owe some of the players on the team who should have got one. But ultimately, you still got to reset everything and then start with the rookie and get him up to snuff so you can really run for a long time and win for a long time. So to me, whatever happened this year is great if it's successful, but if it's not, it's cool too, because ultimately you still got to damn near start from scratch all over again with the dude next year. So whatever happened this year for me is cool. But I
What-
think to a certain degree, we kind of getting ahead of ourselves if we think, like, to me, with Jimmy, we already know pretty much what it's gonna be. We hoping for a different outcome, you know what I'm saying? But
Good point.
he been a game manager since he been there. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, Kyle understand the limitations. We all talk about the wide open people he missed, and then in crucial situations, because you don't see the field well, you force it to those people who everybody know you're gonna force it to, which results in turnovers, which results to us losing. You feel me? So again, I don't want to be the one seem like I'm the you know what I'm saying, negative Nancy, but
But I think you're right. But Ben, I got something for you.
what's the say?
What's the one thing that made Jimmy G play better and this whole team play better? We talked about it earlier. Urgency, right? What creates urgency? A threat, right? So put Purdy's ass in. Put behind in there. Let him throw and make it feel fast. Got to create some urgency in Jimmy G to do what?
Hey, to stay on the horse. You're right
In other
on
words,
that.
talking to Saban taught me one thing about management and leadership. I had one guy selling 25 cars a month, but he would piss on everybody in the morning, make them feel like crap. So I had 8 guys selling 8 cars. I fired him. I had 8 guys selling 15 cars. Ended up with a net gain. At some point, you got to change what you've been doing to get different results. To do the same thing the same way and expect different results is the definition of what? Insanity. Correct? So if you got a running back like Mason, you got a Mr. Relevant who fought his tail off to make the team, and he can throw the ball 20 yards further than Jimmy G, and you got horses that can run under it. That's a game changer for a team that's holding the league to 11.5 points a game. I know I'm making it real seem simple, but one thing about numbers, liars figure, but figures don't lie.
So
It's
they'll Taysom Hill situation.
Why not? What do you got to lose? You weren't expecting anything from this season. Neither was I. Neither were you. Neither were you.
Well, now we are, though. So putting 30
Right.
in it's not. I don't see how that could help. Like,
I don't see how it can hurt for 1 or 2 series.
Defenses, complex defenses, and the way defense coordinators are going to start attacking us. We don't know
But
if
he could change the scheme enough to free up Jimmy G. And when I say that for this reason, let's just say that we go bring him in for a second down play. The defense have got to adjust because they don't know him. They got no film on him.
True.
Let's say we scheme
How didn't we even do that with Trey Lance, though? Like, I liked when they were running a 2 quarterback system and when they first started doing it, and then they just went away from it. And I mean, Trey Lance.
I'm hoping the first 2 games taught him something too. The first 2 losses. I mean, that's the only hope we have for our season. If we keep doing what we did before, we're going to be where we were. At some point, he's been on this team for 5 years, right?
Mm-hmm.
Shanahan? How many more passes do you get?
You got to reset when you drafted the quarterback. That's what bought you the most time.
Yeah,
but let me hit on this. Now, I don't think Purdy gonna get no run. I mean, I ain't disagreeing with you on. I ain't gonna lie. I mean, you know, I think, you know, this year for Purdy wasn't gonna never see the field Purdy wasn't supposed to even be running scout team, but with Trey getting hurt and him running scout team, that's gonna build his reps and his confidence for to be the backup when Trey come back. So you're gonna have two good young quarterbacks that should be capable
of hitting the ball.
If we're gonna spin it, we're gonna spin it that way, going forward. And then, Ben, talked about, it's a wash, because Trey gonna have to start over. I don't agree with that totally. And I'm saying it from the standpoint of, okay, well, obviously he didn't see the field this year, so he didn't get the reps that way. But as far as preparation and film and all of that, he gonna be on top of all of that. He went through a whole OTAs and training camp. So from that standpoint, when he do come back healthy, he gonna know that part of it. It's just getting him to the field and keeping him out there this time so that he can get the actual live, full game type of thing. But as far as like the off-season stuff, he done been through that. It's just he gonna have to rehab the injury. But once he do come back, he didn't had a full training camp. He gonna know, that part of it with no problem. He didn't experience that part. We just got to get him and keep him healthy on the field. So, like I said, I'm looking at it from the standpoint of, down the line, you're gonna have two good quarterbacks. So Purdy gonna wind up being something nice as a good backup that going from Mr. Irrelevant to a good solid number 2. Nobody thought that of him, in the draft. So once again, you got to give him credit for, taking a chance. But like you said, Uncle, for him working his butt off to put himself in position to become that. So all in all, like I said, man, I got an expectation. I'm rooting for Jimmy because, man, I think they could win the Super Bowl this year. And on some level, man, you got to ball out for those guys because, man, realistically, you're not going to have the same guys defensively next year because a lot of these guys is on 1-year contracts. And everybody see the same film you see. Exactly. So that's what I'm saying. Like, Uncle, you've been talking about the urgency. Well, man, we got to have a sense of urgency that we could win it this year because Ryan might be gone next year. And a lot of these players that's on these 1-year contracts may not resign. You know what I'm saying? Because all the teams watch the same films and they seeing these guys balling out. So they're going to want to have the opportunity to be able to, get their money and maybe go somewhere else and be a full-time guy. So, yeah, man, now is the time to try to get this in because just at a narrative of that, you know what I'm saying? So while you got the chance, man, while you got a great defense, man, that can win you a championship, man, you got to try to go all in and get it. So, yeah, I got to have expectation that, man, come on, let's try to win it now. And then if they win it, they can figure it out after. You know what I'm saying? Right. It's always good to figure stuff out after you done won something. So why not? You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying. Why not figure it out how it's going to work after you win the thing? So, I mean, the goal is to win it. You know what I'm saying? That's what they out there playing for. So that's how I look at it, bro.
I agree. I think they could win it this year.
Well, say, bro.
Hey, sorry about that.
No, you're good.
Lost.
You say you lost your connection?
Lost power.
Oh, shit. Oh. You good?
Yeah. My generator just kicked in and the second half of the house is lit, so I'm in the bathroom now.
Gosh.
It's been a long last week was a long week.
Jeez, trust me, I could tell you. I know what it was when we went through.
Yeah, I know y'all.
We went through Ida, man. Shoot, boy, look, I'll tell anybody. They tell y'all a category 4 or 5 hurricane coming, get the hell out of there. Do not stay. Do not try to ride it out, bruh. Because you, by the grace of God, you might survive, but you ain't gonna have power. You gonna, bro, it ain't, I don't wish that on nobody, bro. That's why I was praying. I pray everybody that could get out of harm's way got out, cause you can't ride that out no more, man. These hurricanes are too powerful.
I ain't never
can't ride that stuff out no more.
I ain't never seen something so humbling in my life. I mean, we were upstate in Orlando when it went to the south and east of us, and we got winds at 80, 90 miles an hour. Now, I've been through tornadoes in Alabama and all kind of stuff. I'm explain something to you. A hurricane ain't no way to get away from the wind. Ain't no way to get away from it.
I can tell you.
and it
Man.
humbles you to where you pray in a closet.
That was us last year, last August.
So
when Ida came through, bruh,
man,
I was downstairs. My mother-in-law was with us. She was praying. My wife was praying.
man,
And man, when you talking about all night wind just beating, bruh,
Woo.
100-mile-an-hour winds all night long, just constant. You ain't getting no break, just constant.
For 7 hours, we went from 70 to 120 miles an hour.
Man,
and I
I'm trying to tell you,
in my house by 1/2 inch and put tape across them all, and it sounded like a band was playing. It was just whistling.
Mm-hmm.
But
I know that sound.
We hunkered down though. And then when it at 4 o'clock in the morning, when it finally died down, we had a hurricane party.
Hey, you got to.
and I got that recipe for hurricanes. None of us went to work. Hey, but I'm gonna take down because the generator's gonna go and I'm gonna shut down a lot of stuff on the other side of the house. Gentlemen, it's always been a pleasure speaking with you. It was a great time. Hey Ben,
yo,
take a picture of me. I used to have dreads down to my backside, man.
Oh yeah, man. Let me see that, bro.
I don't have my wallet, but next time I showed you.
That's what's up, Unc. That's what's up.
I also was 160 pounds now. I'm twice the man I used to be.
Ain't nothing wrong with that. Look, it got better. You hear me?
Yeah.
But this Sunday, I'll be 59 years old.
Oh shit, that's what's up, man.
Man, look, I never thought I was gonna make it, but guess what? Every day is a holiday.
You don't even look 59 though. You look like
sure don't.
Bro.
You know what? When you laugh a lot, pray hard, play hard, and can stay hard, life's good.
Don't talk black to me.
Yeah, that's it.
All right, brothers, be blessed. Thank you so much.
Yes, sir.
It was a pleasure.
Right back,
sir.
I appreciate it.
All right, bye.
Sir.
Hey man, look, I'm right behind Unc. I got mine waiting on me to get it in. Y'all know BET Awards and all that. Tonight I gotta do a little de-swigging out here. Give me y'all, we already know who we hoping to win, but shit, we got the Panthers coming up. We unanimous that we getting that dub.
Well, they should get the dub if they come like they came last night. If they come with that focus, and I think they realize they got to come with the focus. So I'm expecting them to win the game. God's spell on Sunday. So yeah, if they play the way they're capable of playing, yeah. I mean, Carolina, they got a nice little team. Baker Mayfield probably gonna be no slouch. This could be a trap game if they don't come with the right focus. But I think they is. To come with the right focus, they should be good. So I'm expecting them to get it in. So yeah, I mean, come on, get it in. That's where it's at.
Well, I'm on the same page with you. I don't know what happened to Brother Jizzle, but I figure he on the same page with us. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
So definitely appreciate both of the brothers rocking with us. Y'all make sure to continue to rock with us, like, share, and subscribe. This your boy Ben Good from my big bro P Warrior _Niner, who came up with the phrase, or coined the phrase rather, we gonna bang till we can't no more. It's the Faithful Boys podcast. Bang, bang to the gang. And we about to get out the door.
Bang, bang till infinity, baby.